So what is the name that you have given or code?
Sir, the final one, sir, 406.
406. Okay. Yeah, this is the one, right?
Yes, sir, that one.
So did you create any new employee?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You have employee number?
5, sir.
5. Okay. William Kane. Okay. Fine.
ஏம்மா அமைதியா இருக்குமா ப்ளீஸ்மா. Sir, I did not create job name, sir.
Okay.
I only created job. I did not create job name. You create a job name.
Yeah, that is not an issue.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so this will work as an combination.
Mr. Arun,
Yeah, yes.
sorry to bother, interrupting in middle. Actually, I tried installing all the softwares and tried doing it, but I don't know, my system is crashing. Suresh said
Okay.
someone at Sholinallur will install all the softwares required and all that.
If you want this application to be run in your machine, so probably you'll have to do that. You'll have to pick someone and install in your system. Or
Huh.
probably if you want only the front end application, but also this is a limited way of accessing it. So if you want the complete control, probably you will have to go with installing in your machine. If not, you can use the existing one which I shared you already.
Okay. You had shared something like, can you
Yeah,
just
yeah, I'll share it.
resend it to me?
Yeah, yes, yes, I'll put it in group again. Not an
Okay,
issue.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, but the issue is that you will not be able to create a new user or probably change the existing configuration on few cases. So
Okay,
that
for that
those
I
will be
need to install it completely into my system like what Suresh had to.
yeah, yes.
Okay, okay. Can I go and get it installed tomorrow?
Yeah, yes. I mean, you have someone to install?
No. When I asked Suresh, he said he will recommend someone at Sholing Nallur. I was not sure who
Okay.
was it.
Okay. Even I don't know. Maybe he might have someone to know. Okay. No problem. Yeah. You
All
can
right.
take that. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, another doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Ah, sir, yesterday said about menu and function now.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Sir, while opening HRMS responsibility, first we saw the menu is people. People is a
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah.
But when opening it, it comes enter and maintain. Whether enter and maintain is a sub menu or function.
No, that is not a function. So that is in submenu. So what is function is that, let's say, okay, let me close this page. Okay. So now if you see this entire list, so this we call
These
it
are
as
menus.
menu. So now if I say, if I say, let's say, payroll, so this is an submenu. So now if I say description, so this is my function. So the collection of function becomes my submenu, and this collection of submenus becomes my menu.
So why payroll is in sub menu, sir? Under people is a menu. Payroll.
No, people is not menu. So
Uh,
menu is a consolidated one which we gave. Let me take there. So the US payroll is the one that we gave for this particular responsibility, I think. So
okay,
whatever
sir.
you are seeing here, so these are nothing but the submenus. Probably I
Okay,
will
sir.
show it from there. Okay, so this is our menu. Okay, I'm just copying this and I'll put it here in menu screen. So now this is my menu. Okay, and this is my sub menu, which means this people and payroll, all those things becomes my sub menu. And under that, whatever I have, which means the description of payroll or probably the payment method, all those things are my functions. Okay. Yeah. So let me
Assignment, how
take this one. Yeah, I'll do it and I'll show you. That is the one you are saying, right? Which one? The adding the new job. Is that
Sir,
right?
in mission standard, it is easy for me to add, sir. That responsibility.
Mission
I
standard.
created new. Mission, that responsibility is easy for me to use. I
Okay.
created some random jobs and I simply created employees. I did it in the beginning of the class, but after developing and creating my BG, I
Mm.
started creating. I cannot create my responsibility. And the day I asked you, no, sir, I cannot
Mm.
create a user. I stuck there itself.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what we have certain restrictions here.
mm.
So that's the thing.
So once I come to Chennai, it will be easy for me, sir. I will also install
Mm.
Oracle, but now I am using instance only. So
Yeah, got it.
mm.
But as of now, we have only this version with the limited this thing. We'll see. I mean, Suresh probably he can help you with yeah, that installation and the other things.
So on running payroll also, sir. On the day you said no for boss buyer.
Yeah.
In that case, it's for me to run. The data you provided me, it is okay. But I have to learn how to create elements and link elements. So that only I am creating employee, but it is not. I am not able to create, sir.
What is the issue you're facing?
Sir, this only, sir. Once I create a new job, I cannot able to add it.
Okay, we'll see that. No issue. So what we have done is that we have created a new job. So next step is to attach it with our position. Okay.
Sir, I modified position KFF also, sir.
Okay.
The values are 400.
Modified in the sense you added new value.
Yes, sir. Add a new value.
Okay. Where position code.
Yes, sir. My position.
Okay. Okay. So this is HR executive. I'm just taking as it is. Okay, so so the sequence would be something like this. So we will add either I can add. So most of the cases we will add only. I mean, not only the job code. Always it is job code and the job name. Similarly, we will add for the position code and position name. So in this case, since we did not add it, so I have taken from the because this job code which we have mentioned, so that is something generic. So that is super senior or something like that, the seniority position. So this I can fit in either it can be an HR or it can be an accountant or it can be an admin also. So for that reason, I have taken this. So we have added the value there. So one thing is that we should always make sure that we are adding both job code and job name. And second thing is that we will have the job created. Okay, so this is our second step. Sorry, Madhav, your voice is breaking. Can you repeat once?
Whether you created position here at least.
Again, it's breaking. Can you
Sir,
repeat once?
whether you created, sir, whether you created hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
The positions, we
This
create position
position.
hierarchy, no. That's one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. We created. So
Sir, can you
that's
hear
what I
me?
was saying. Yeah, yes, yes. Now it is fine.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, so that's what. So we have created our job. So job, that is simple thing wherein we will just select the values whatever we have added recently, and we will just save it. So that's a simple step. And the third step in our sequence is that position, creating the position. So always we should make sure that we are creating our position on top of this particular organization called HR. When I say this particular org, it's not this org that I'm mentioning. So it is HR organization respective to any particular org. It could be Bosch or it could be any name. Okay, but it should be always the HR org. So that is when we will get the value in our position. Because by default, if you see, BG will be taken. So because BG is an global org. Okay, so that is the reason always system will pick for BG, but we should again override there, stating that it's an HR organization. So from there we will be able to get our job and position. Especially even job, I don't have any reference because this is attached to my business group. When I'm creating the business group, I have my KFF and all those details attached to it. In our initial class, we saw that. And then after adding it, I'll add simply the values in the KFF, and then I'll add it in the job screen where I will add the new job. But position, I'll have to make sure that I'm creating only under the HR organization, because there, if you see, we have also the organization from where we'll be using this particular position. Okay. So in this case, I have created this for Bosch HR organization. So I have changed the arc, and now I'm getting this value, which is 400 dot 300, and here it is 406 dot HRE. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Anything else?
Sir, why senior executive cannot be added? You said that as
Hmm.
position here is created, I cannot create. I cannot get executive there. Is it correct?
Sorry, in mid I lost your voice. Can you repeat once?
Same. Sir, I will join once again, sir. I
Uh,
think there's problem with me. I will exit and join once again.
okay.
Okay. Sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes. Now it's fine. Yes. Tell me.
Sir, why I can't attach senior executive to that job, sir? Since I created position here, it is difficult for me to attach. Is it correct, sir? Okay.
No, no, we have attached this particular employee, the one which I create. Okay, you are asking for your
Yeah.
uh, employee that you created, or this one
Yes,
you
sir.
are asking.
For my employee I created.
Yeah, for your employee, I don't know what is the issue. It is not allowing to save. So usually there will be an trigger which will raise for saving this record. I don't know. It's saying repeatedly that the commit could not happen. So commit is nothing but saving the record. So that is not happening. So for that reason, I created a new employee. So I attached the job and position that we created for this purpose.
Sir, but for job, the senior executive now I created. Why you created it?
No, 1 minute. Let me show from there. Okay, so the question is that why we are seeing the HRE there. Okay,
Sir,
so
how did we
now
create?
we mm, yeah, tell me.
Sir, how did we create job name?
Job name we did not create since it is not the job name we don't have. So basically, how these will work is that based on the combination that we are giving. Okay, so when I'm explaining this KFF, so if you notice, so I explained something about allow dynamic inserts. So what this will do is that this will create multiple combinations. So let's say I have two lines against each, which means I have two job codes. Let's say 1, 2, 3 and 3, 4, 5. And now I have probably two job name. So one is accountant and the other one is HR executive. So now what system will do is that system will create a combination saying that 1, 2, 3 and HR executive and 1, 2, 3 account executive. Similarly, it is going to create 3, 4, 5 and it will say that HR executive and it is again going to create it. So the purpose is that to create the multiple combinations. So now, since we have allowed that particular combination to generate on the fly, we are able to create here even if I did not define my job name. Okay, so it will create its own thing since I don't have any this thing attached to it. So I have taken this name which we have defined and I have taken the job name which is already there. Okay, if you create your job name, so probably you will get that one as well here.
Sir, that only I'm
Mm.
asking. How to create the job name, sir? And KFF itself,
Same
I have
place.
to.
Yeah, same place. I'll just show. Okay, so now we have a job code. So job. Okay, so let me give senior. Okay,
Sir, voice is not hearing, sir. Your voice.
so with this, I'm creating my job name. So now,
Sir, your
what
voice
I,
is breaking down, sir.
can you hear me now?
Now I'm able to hear you.
Uh, okay, yeah.
இன்னும் கேட்க மாட்டேங்க.
So I was saying that we have created the job name. So hope you have. So
Yes, sir. I found it. How to create job name.
uh,
Sir,
Harini, are you able to hear me? Or, uh, yeah, tell me. Hello.
sir, are you able to hear me? Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, I'm hearing pretty clear. Yes, Madhav, I can hear you.
சார் கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது சார் கொஞ்சம்
Your voice
clear.
is very much clear.
சார் 1 second I exit and come,
Hello.
sir.
Oh,
Sir? Sir? No person. Hello,
Okay.
sir. Sir, I exit and come. I will connect once again, sir.
Yes, Madhav.
Sir, I will exit and connect once again, sir.
Uh, okay, Madhav.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I will exit and connect, sir, once again.
Okay, Madhav. Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. What's in the
Hello. Yeah, yes,
sir.
Madhav.
Sir.
Yeah,
Sir, voice is not
yes,
hearing.
Madhav. I can hear your voice clearly.
But your voice is I'm not able to hear your voice, sir. Hello, sir.
Uh, I don't know. Uh, I can hear your voice.
Now I
Yes,
can hear,
Madhav.
sir. Few words I can hear, sir, but it is breaking down.
Your okay. Okay. Is this fine? Hello.
Sir, can you hear me? Sir, I will check my signal strength and reconnect, sir. I'll check with my net. I will reconnect, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello. Madhav, you're very clear.
Sir, your voice is
Okay.
breaking down, sir. I will check with my net and reconnect, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Nice. Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yes, mother. Can you hear me now?
Now I am able to hear you, sir.
Okay, fine.
Hmm.
Yeah, yes, you're asking something.
Sir, another doubt I had, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, in assignment, no, sir. What is
Mm.
mean by multiple assignment?
Multiple assignment is nothing but, I mean, it's like having, so assignment is nothing but if I'm working for a particular entity. So I will say that I have one assignment, which is for company one. If I have multiple assignments, so probably I'll attach myself with different organization. So that's the difference between single assignment and the multiple assignments.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Anything else, or we can start the class?
Sir, you can begin the class, sir. The session I'll ask.
Okay, fine. Okay, where we left yesterday is that in approach. So we initiated or we created this leave request. Okay. So what I will do is that let me reshare the screen. I have the other one which I can show from there. Let me reshare the screen. 1 minute. And add from there. So since that is an optional configuration, so what I'm doing is that I'm just saying submit. So now we can see that approval is brown Casey. So I'll just say submit. Okay. So now what I will do is that I'll close this particular screen and I will log out and log in as an approver. Yeah. So let me pick this. Yeah. So this is the username and this is the password. Okay. So now if you see here, so we have on the right hand side the work list. So work list is nothing but the approvals that we are receiving. So this is not only for the HRMS. So irrespective of any approval that I'm getting. So this could be either the approval or this could be an information. So both will fall under this particular bin called work list. Okay. So here we can see that this is created. I mean, we have this leave request that we have received it. Okay, so let me click this. And now, yeah, so this is how the approval screen will look like. So this we know, so this is understandable. Either I can approve or I can reject. So now I have other I mean other option also if I want to reassign it. So probably let's say I'm an manager for let's say accounts department. So now this request has come into me. So after my approval, basically it will route through the HR and the other person. So in this case, let's say I'm an notice period, which means I'm about to resign or get it relieved from this particular company. So it's not that immediately I'll get relieved from this company, whatever the company, a company. So now I will have an alternative resource that is being taken by the company. So this resource, whoever I'm saying, so he or she might have a specific time duration wherein he or she will get all those details, whatever I was doing. Okay. So now this ownership or whatever I was doing will be transferred to this particular new employee. So now if I want to give provision to this particular employee, so probably I'll have to create a new login and configure all those things. I will have to change it. So instead, what I can do is that for a certain time period, I simply can say reassign. Okay, so this could be one reason. The other case would be, let's say I'm going on leave. Okay, so what I will do is that I'm on leave, so I'll just say that reassign. So I'm not the right person to authorize it. So I will say reassign. So this could be a multiple reason wherein we can utilize this reassign in case it has reached wrongly. So the wrong person has received this notification. So even that case, I can say reassign and I can assign it to the appropriate person. Okay, so this is the functionality of reassigning. And then I have request information. So request information is something that I have information that this is for the sick leave and this is from so and so date. I have it, the start date and end date. But still, I don't have any information apart from that. I don't have any comments or anything. Okay, so simply I cannot approve this leave. So what I will do is that I will request for the information. So this will again go back to the particular employee who has applied for it, and he will fill in, and again he will send back to me, and I will review those information which I received, and then I will approve this. Okay. So if at all I want to add or request additional information, so I will say that the participant I can say, or probably I can add this particular employee. So most of the cases I will not say this. Okay, I will just use the thing whatever it is there, and I will give the information that I needed from this particular employee called stalker pet. So I'll just give the input. So this will go back to the employee and he will give the information. And then what I will do is that I'll approve this particular request. Okay. So this is one thing. And another thing is that I have written for correction. So this is similar to what we saw here. So that is nothing but request for information. Okay. So the difference is that request for information could be in just an information. It's not exactly the correction. But correction is the case where I have an option wherein, let's say, instead of saying 2 days, I have mentioned as 5 days. So what I will do is that I will request my manager that I was intended to do for probably 2 or 3 days, but by mistake I have sent it for 5 days. So what this manager will do is that he will send for written for correction. So I will correct those details and I will send back to the manager. So now manager will again review this and he will approve this particular request. Okay. So these are the options that we have. So this is optional. If at all I want to give my response, let's say this time I'm approving it, but we don't want to follow this same thing again and again. Let's say this is not sick leave. So this is an casual leave. So I'm just applying for 3 days. So manager is not going to approve as it is. So what he will say is that he will put a note saying that this time I'm approving, and probably let's keep this in short or whatever he wants to say. He can add it in note and he can say approve. Okay. So now I'm just saying approve. Okay. So now if you see here, so it has been removed from the list. So this is the one that we created yesterday. So let me just approve this one also. Okay. So now this has been approved. So let me log out and log in. Okay. So now we can see that the leave status is confirmed, which means this has been approved by the manager. Okay. And one thing that I want to note here is that whether I can update this particular request, the leave request, whatever I have mentioned. Okay. So at what case I cannot approve is that when it is in pending status. If it is in pending status, or probably I have ran the payroll run and the year end, all those processes are done. So that is when I'll not be able to basically update this record. But apart from that, if I want to have it changed after it is approved, so I can very well change those information. So here, if you see, so this is approved by manager, but still I have option to update these details, whatever I have it. Okay. So probably this is not 2 days or 3 days. Instead, I wanted to have it 4 days. So I can update and send back for the approval. Okay, so that is possible. But when we are not able to see, or when we are seeing this kind of grayed out icon, so which means this particular request that we have made, either it has crossed this payroll run period, or it is in pending for approval. So, okay, so that is when we will not be able to edit anything. Okay, okay. So, yeah, any doubt in this? Okay, I think we can move on. Mm,
Sir.
yeah,
Sir, whether we can try this in our instance.
this one approval you will not be able to use it, but if you want to try out with the standard configurations that you have, that you can try. Because
Okay.
the challenge here is that I need two users to be created, but there I cannot create two users. So you will have to pick the existing user, and then probably you'll have to try out with it. So that's what. So this we cannot try there using the same format which we saw.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we are good with it. I think. So what I will do is that I will start the next one. So next one, what we wanted to see is that the recruitment. So probably we'll see if time permits. We'll see the performance appraisal also. So how it is happening. So before that, I'll start with the recruitment process. Okay. So to start the recruitment, we don't have any specific configurations such as the payroll configurations or the other absence management configurations. So there were a few prerequisites that we will have to do it, but here in recruitment process, we don't have any such prerequisites. So only prerequisites that we will need is that creating the uh, business unit, I mean business org, and then creating the HR organization, job, position, all those things. Okay. So there's a so probably I'll check if I can give. I think I have something in my drive. So let me check and I'll share it with you so that you will get those information also. Okay, so basically we don't need any specific configuration apart from organization, position, and all those basic information. Okay, so which we have created it already. So what I will do is that I will say requisition and vacancy. So here the sequence is that creating the vacancy and then we will attach with each activity. Yeah, so we will see each one of it. So now here as a first step, I'll be creating the vacancy. Okay. So this vacancy will be open probably, let's say, first July to. This is an probably let's say 3 weeks try. So I'm conducting. So probably I'll have this till 21st July 21. Okay. So now I have the raised person. So who raised this particular requirement? So it could be a project manager or it could be an procurement executive or procurement manager, not the executive. Executive will not raise any request. So it could be a procurement manager or whoever it may be. So this particular person can raise it. Even though this is an optional field to give, so still we have option that we can give who raised this particular requirement exactly. Okay, so let me say this as an account executive. Okay, and now what I'm doing, okay, I'll save this. Okay, so now what I will do is that I'll give the name for vacancy. Okay, so this would be account executive, and probably let's say 3 to 5 years. So this is the vacancy that I'm putting in place. So probably if I want to give the description, the detailed one, like these are the things that has been expected from this particular resource. So just a brief introduction, kind of a description I can give. Okay. And vacancy date, so I'm not changing it. So I'm having it the same date, that is 1st July to 21st of July. Okay, and I can specify the openings is for one person or it's for 10 or 20. So I can specify those details. So for now, I'm giving this vacancy only for one person because it's not going to make much changes to it. Okay, and now we have the category. So this could be, I mean, this could be kind of an department or the vacancy type or anything it could be. Okay. So in this case, this is an vacancy type that I'm selecting finance because this account executive that I'm selecting is for the accounts department. Okay. So if I'm selecting someone for admin, so probably I'll select the admin. Okay. Or the human resource if I'm selecting HR executive. So similarly, I'll select the respective category. Okay. Yeah. So now I will select this particular status. So how I will understand whether this particular vacancy has ended or it has been put on hold, all those things, I can select here whether this is an unapproved or this is an approved or rejected or this is pending for approval or probably this might have been closed. So I will change the status accordingly. Okay. But this is an optional step that if at all I want to maintain, I can maintain. So I have these many list of values that I can make use of it. Okay, so usually it will be in approved status or it will be in open status. Okay, so now we have given these details, that is vacancy. So next thing what I will do is that I will attach my organization. Okay, let me pick the organization that I'm attaching. So this is Vision Corporation. So let me check for here. It is here. Okay. So this is people flex field basically. People flex field we gave in our instances this one default. So we did not specify the grouping and the other things. So if I want to probably group, I can group it here. Okay. So this is not mandatory. So I'm just saying this as an not applicable. Okay. Because we are not sure about the groupings and these things at this point. So I'll say this is not applicable. And the job and position probably, if I want to give, I can give at this point itself. Okay, I think I selected business group. Probably that is different entity, I think. Let me check this. Yeah, that is a different entity. So let me pick this. So I have attached the job and position. So the reason why I'm giving job and position at this stage itself, which is I mean, I'm just creating the vacancy internally. So I'll just publish this and probably I'll start my interview process and all those things. But the reason why I'm giving at this stage itself is that basically system is going to derive from the our initial setup itself. So for this reason, I'm giving job and position at this stage so that when I convert this particular applicant into employee, system is going to derive these values from here. So that is job, position, location, so where this particular person will be located. Because when we are placing this vacancy, we will be very sure that for which location that we are hiring this particular employee and for which process, which project. So all those things we will be knowing it. So that's the reason I'm attaching the job position and the location as well. So grade at this point, I'm not giving it, but if I want, I can give. So not an issue on that. Okay. And then I have the recruiter name. So if I want to, so this is again an optional setup that I can give. But if at all I want to give the recruiter name, so I can attach it here. Okay. And if I want to set up the budget for this recruitment process, so I can set up the budget. So I can say it is an hourly basis, or this is an what do you call in monetary value. So I can give those details. Okay. So this is optional. So at this point, I don't want to set up any limit to this thing because when we will have the budget measurement is that when I have an predefined amount or the days of work that I have. So that is when I'll give the budget measurements. So at this point of time, I'm not giving those details. So I'm just giving the recruiter name. Recruiter name is A Gopal and the vacancy is for this particular unit. Okay. So when I'm recruiting this particular person or the new joinee, so he will join as an accountant. Okay. And this is the position and this is the location he will be working for. Okay. So now let me say, save. I'm just saving this particular vacancy that I have created. Okay. And now the next step is to create the activity. I will just set the recruitment activity. Okay. So let me say this is an first level interview. Okay. So activity type, I'm not referring anything. So this is nothing but the type of or mode of recruitment that we are doing. So this could be an what do you call this could be an internal referral that is happening. So I will conduct the interview and I'll take it forward, and all those things might happen. Or this could be an outside wherein we will reach out to the particular college, and from there we will probably conduct the interview and select those things. So that will come under college recruitment. And the other one which I was referring is that employee referral. And probably if I don't have the exact name for it, I can select this as an general. Or the campaign agency. Agencies mostly for the case where we have the contractual employees. So that is when we will have the agencies will come in place. And career fair. So sometimes that will also possible. So that will happen. Okay. And from site. So these are the multiple options that we have. Okay. So this particular opportunity that I'm placing. So this is I'm selecting this as in general. Okay. So started, I'll select this as, let's say July 2021. Okay. And this is optional, but still, if I want to give the closure date, I can give it here, or I can just leave these options open. Okay. And then I'll say that this is approved by probably the manager would have been approved. So I'll update those approval details here. Okay. So let me pick an approval for this. And if I have internal contacts, external contacts, so those things I can attach it here. So these things will happen for the case where we have where we have the option of conducting a college recruitment. So I will have the external contacts there. So if this is an internal drive which is using the employee referral, so in this case also I'll have the internal contact name, so that I'll be using. Okay. So these are so these are only the optional configurations or the setups that we will be doing. So I'm not probably touching these parts. Okay. So yeah, so what I will do is that if I want to probably specify this also, that is I'm recruiting for any particular vacancy that is raised. So I will say that particular vacancy. So the vacancy that I created is for accounts executive 3 to 5 years. So that is the one that we created. Okay. So I'm just attaching that vacancy here. Okay. So now we have defined this recruitment activity. So now next step is that we have defined it, and now the applicant has reached our office, and now we will basically get those personal details from the applicants. So we'll give the form to fill in, or probably the online portal where they will fill in those personal details, or the employment details and the other information. So those things we can capture as a part of initial drive process. Okay. So these are the mandatory options. Basically, system will pick. So here, what I'm doing is that let me say this is an rig. Okay. And I can give the person type. So this is applicant. So I'm not giving this as an other mode. Okay. So this applicant number will be generated automatically. So if you remember in our initial setup when we are configuring the business group, we saw that applicant number should be generated automatically. Okay. If I would have set up manual there, so I can enter my own sequence here. So this is always numeric. So since I have selected this as an automatic. Okay. Yeah. So I have selected this as an applicant, and I'm not giving first name and all those details. I'm just giving the last name. Okay. And this is mandatory, even though the address is kept in white, which means optional, but this is mandatory to fill in. So I'm just giving a dummy address here. Okay, let me take the zip code. I don't know what is the zip code for New Delhi. It is 74016. Let me supply this. Okay, so yeah, so I have given the address here. Okay, and then if I want to give the probably the current employee, so I can define it. Okay, so the date here I'm not changing it because this date means that when this particular application is received into our bin, which means I'm applying on 9th of July with this company. Okay, so that's the understanding. Okay, so we have given these information, and now that we will attach the recruitment activity that we created. Okay, so the art name I will change this to probably the other one we had it there. Okay, and job and position let me leave as it is for now. Okay, I'm not taking this at this point of time, so I can give all those details here. Okay, and let me add the vacancy. I think I should add these details if I want to get through. Okay, I think recruitment type is different. Yeah, I created first round, so I have taken different one. So that is the reason it was not populating. Okay, so based on that configuration, it will pick in all those relevant inputs. So these are the details that we gave there. Okay. And yeah, this I'm not changing it. So this is the source of the application. So this is general. So it's not referred by any individual person, employee, or any organization. So I'm not giving any information here. Okay. So apart from this, there are certain additional information that we can capture. Okay. So for example, if you see here, so we have the inputs that we can create. So so there are two DFFs that is being created. Okay, so that anyway we know that the DFF part, or probably we can see that when we are seeing the EIT and SIT. So for now, this should be sufficient for us. So now we have given the application entry, which means the application that we have received, we have inputted in the system. So now what I will do is that I'll say mass update of applicant. Okay. So here I'll have the list of applications that I have entered. So the one that I created is that I think it is I think different one I entered. Let me check this. Yeah, we have given the record input, but it's not appearing there. I think I missed the comma, so that's why it did not come. So this is a bit case sensitive. So we should always make sure that we enter the details exactly as it is how we entered the. Okay. So now we have the applicant number that is generated. So this is automate process of generating the numbers or the sequence. So as I said, since we gave this as an automatic, so this is always an numeric value that will be generated. Okay. Yeah. So other information, whatever we have given, so that is reflecting the same thing. It's been seen here. So now what I will do is that I'll just click this. So this is not for one record that I'll be doing usually. So usually I'll have multiple applicants that I'll be seeing. At least I'll see 10 to 20 applicants in my one day probably. So I'll have 20 records that I can choose. So in this case, for understanding, I'm just doing it for one employee. Okay. So if I have multiple employees, so probably I can select all, or I can select all, and if I want to remove 4 or 5 out of it, I can remove all those 4 or 5. Okay. So now I have selected these applicants, and I'll say update. So here in update, I can change the status. So this is first round of interview that I have conducted. So for each case, what I will do, I will keep changing the status. If this particular employee has, I mean, the applicant has crossed this interview one, two, all those things. So I can specify those details here. So that is just an update. So I'm not just going out and coming in again and again. So instead, what I will say this is an accepted. Okay. Or instead of saying accepted, I can say make offer. I think I have somewhere here. Yeah, it is here. Make offer. So which means this particular person has been selected. Okay. So I'll just select the recruiter and I'll say okay. Okay. Yeah. So this process is done. So the next thing is that recruitment letter. Okay, so these are standard templates that will see as a part of standard this thing. In Oracle, we will have these few standard things. So I'm just saying, okay. And this is a manual. And initially it will be in pending status. And I'll just say this is against which particular vacancy. Okay. I forgot the vacancy name. Yeah, this is the one that we created for. Okay, let me save this. You should get the name here. I think this is the vacancy name. Let me check once. Yeah, this is the vacancy name. Okay, I think the other one has created already, so that's why it's saying already the record exists. Yeah, so this has been created automatically. So yeah, it did not probably query this screen, so that's why it was giving that error. I think it has taken different letter name. I think the reason why I couldn't see is that the automatic condition is picking these things. So that is the reason we are seeing that under this one, US. So this is the one that we created actually. The name Rick with the applicant number 298. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let me change the status as requested, and then I should see the status. Yeah, it is completed, and the concurrent program also triggered. Okay. So now, if I query in this particular page, that is employee. So this should create an employee record automatically. So let me check if Rick is created automatically. Okay, there are a lot of Ricks. Yeah, this is the one that we created. So now, if you see here, the employee number is not generated. So this is only an applicant. So this will be created only as an applicant inside HRMS entry, that is employee record. Okay. So I will have to assign those details. So that is when basically it will get created. So I'll, yeah, I will have to assign those details. Yeah, so let me say date and the other information. So these things we know it, the basic things. So I'm just going to the assignment screen. Yeah, I think the issue is with action. Yeah, I don't know. I saved before selecting the action, so it will get frozen. So these are one-time setups that we will be doing. Okay, so that is the reason. So because of that, it is not allowing. So these information we captured as a part of initial this thing. So those things are coming automatically, but I'm not able to select the assignment. But this is same process. So we will give the organization name, job, position, grade, and all those information. So we'll have the employee number generated. So with this, we'll be ending this process, the recruitment process, and this particular employee, Rick, will become an employee of this organization, depending on the department or the job and position that we are selecting. So based on that, we will have the employee records, and then in the assignment screen, along with the job and position, we will also attach the payroll. So that end of the month, he will get the payroll created for this particular person. Okay. Any doubt in this? Or we can move on?
Sir, for creating applicant.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, we can also use people enter and maintain. No, by using enter and maintain, we can create a new employee.
Yeah.
Not an employee. By in action, we can. There's also an option
Mhm.
called application applicant.
Yeah, that is an manual record wherein you will not have these process, because the reason why we are following this process is that this is the sequence that any company will follow. They will publish the vacancy and they will conduct the drive, and after conducting the drive they will start their recruitment process with interview round 1, 2, 3, whatever the level they have. So based on that, they will say that they will update the status, and after updating the status, they will say that we will make offer after having their discussion with them. So they will say we can make offer. Okay. So after making this as an offer, so they will convert this applicant to employee. So if I don't want to follow this process, simply I can go to people and maintain, as you said. So there I can say this is an applicant, and probably after he got selected, I'll change the status from applicant to employee. So that is also possible. But usual process is to have this sequence, because company prefers to have the detailed information of the drive that they are conducting. Okay, so that's the purpose. Okay, anything
Oh,
else?
okay, sir. Sir, other doubts I have, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, in payroll I have some doubts, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, what is a retro payment?
So retro payment, when you will use is that basically when you have an option. Let's say I have two employees. So for this, I processed bonus for one employee. By mistake or by a system issue, I did not process this bonus for this month for employee A. For B, I have processed it, but for A, I did not process this retro pay. So now what I will do is that I will include this payment, whichever I had to run for the last period. So I will include in this particular period, and I will say that this is in retro pay component, and I will include as a part of payroll cycle. So that is what we call it as retro pay.
Okay, sir.
We will see those things when we are seeing the fast formula. So before that, we will complete these smaller topics like the recruitment and the performance appraisal, all those things.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So it is 9:45. So we'll see, or you want to see tomorrow? Can we see? Okay.
Yes,
Maybe
okay,
I'll.
sir.
Sorry.
Sir, can you ask the ma'am? Ma'am,
Uh, Harini.
let's discuss it with the ma'am, sir. Whether she is busy or you can take.
Okay.
Ma'am,
I think Harini, you're on mute.
yes.
Uh, can you unmute and talk, Harini? Okay, probably there could be some issue, I think, maybe. Uh,
Sir, then I have some doubt on payroll itself, sir. Let's discuss that
yeah,
and we can end up.
okay, fine, no issue. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what's the difference between reversing the payroll and a rollback?
Reversing the payroll and rollback. So rollback is in process. So there is an minor different difference between reversing the payroll and the rollback. So there are few cases where I will say reversing, wherein transfer to GL and all those things, and this one, the what do you call, the rollback process is ran, and again in the rollback you will see two things. So one is that rollback run and the rollback. So rollback is a process where we will have our list of activities. So now let me pick this one. Let me take this program, and from there I can explain. I think this particular report is not attached. Let me attach the program and then I'll come back to this page. Why this is not appearing? Okay, that is human resource, I think. Yeah, this is C1. So let me pick this request group and I'll add the programs to it. So for some cases it will not be there, so we will have to add it manually since this is test environment. What is this? This program is not available.
Sir,
Okay, yeah, yes.
the screen is not visible, sir. It is stuck.
Actually, I'm just searching in tables whether this particular record is available.
Hmm. Okay, sir. Sorry, I misunderstood, sir.
Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, usually we'll have this reversal option also. Okay, no problem. I'll explain the reversal. Probably you will have that in the environment that I shared with you. So I checked it already. So because even there I did not find this reversal, but I added it manually, both the reversal, uh, the rollback and the rollback run. So both I added it manually. Okay, so there probably you will find it. Okay. So reversal, when I will use is that probably, let's say I have run this one, what do you call, payroll by mistake. So I will do the reversal. So now this is going to give me reversal entry, or this is going to give a reverse effect in my payroll run, whichever I have run. But this is not going to take off the record that I have already generated. This is just giving. So let's say I paid Mr. A 10,000. So this is going to keep the record, but it is going to say minus 10,000, which is going to nullify and which is not going to make any meaning, but it is just for the reporting purpose. But this will have a record in the system. But let's say rollback. So rollback, what will happen is that this is going to take up the entire process that we have run. So we'll not be able to see the record when we say rollback, which means let's say I have run rollback now. So now, I mean, sorry, not rollback. So now that I have run the payroll process and the prepayment process. So now I wanted to take back these two processes. I don't want anyone in the system to know that I ran this, because this I ran only for the testing purpose, which means I'm giving probably I mean, I'm deducting more on the TDS part this month. So I want to check whether that is working properly or not before I run the payroll process. So what I will do is that I will just probably this might be in for single employee, or this could be in batch run also. So this what we are seeing is for the batch run which I do. So for the individual employee, as usual, I can go to the employee screen, and from there I can roll back and do all those things. So this I'm saying only for the purpose of the batch payment which we will do. Okay. So now that I have run the payroll run and the prepayment, so what I will do is that, so this maybe we can see, I think, because we assigned it. Let me show from there. Okay, so I'll just say view and request. So here I can say this is an rollback. Okay, so first I'll show the rollback run. So here in rollback run, if you see, I will have only the payroll that I have run in probably from starting of the period. So now if I want to reverse, or if I want to give an delete action, so what I will do, I will say payroll, I mean, not payroll run, it's rollback run. So whatever the payroll run that I have made, so I will select it and I will say okay here. So this assignment set is optional as usual. So if I want to select by assignment set, let's say I'm giving 4 process for my payroll run. So I want to select only one assignment set. I can select that particular assignment set. Okay. So based on that, I can decide accordingly. Okay. So now, yeah, so we have seen this. So this is nothing but only the payroll process that we are seeing. Okay. So now we have the other option, that is payroll, I mean, rollback. So rollback, what this will do is that this will take care of all the actions that I have done. So you can see from the list. So I have for the advance pay. So advance pay is nothing but our employee advance and all those things. So we will see this at later point. So for now, just understand this advance pay also can be rolled back. Okay, and also we have the costing and cost of payment. These things we know, and apart from that, we have payment. Whatever the action that we are doing in our payroll run, so that can be reversed. Okay. So this includes our reversal. So whatever, so as I said, the reversal will contain the record that I have made reversal. So let me see if I have reversal. So if I have reversed something, so I will see that list also here. Okay. I don't know if I have record inside this. So if I have reversed it, probably I'll have, because since I don't have the concurrent program itself, Yeah, I thought it will not be there because the concurrent program itself is not there, so we'll not have record inside it. So usually we'll have this concurrent inside it, but test instance for some reason it is not there. So that's what. So we will do the reversal, and now if I want to take back these reversal also, that I don't want this record to be in the system. So simply I'll select the reversal and I will say the reversal. Yeah, we don't have it, but if at all we have, we can select it. If I have that particular concurrent program, I can select and I can select that particular activity which I have made as an reversal. So that could be one period, or that could be a two period, or one period two activity. So I can reverse all those things. For example, payroll run and this one also prepayment. So that is the difference. Not much different, same activity, but in a different context or a different way of functioning. Okay, so that's the difference between the reversal and rollback.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if I am running a batch spacer,
Mm.
if I have 500 employees,
Okay.
on the day for our batch pay included only 5 employees.
Yes, correct.
Sir, for 500 employees, how I must include 500, sir?
The 500 basically how I will include is that I will say the criteria. So if you remember, we had two options. So one is that using the assignment set, that is normal one in the amendment. I can say that exclude only, let's say out of 500, I don't want to include for everyone. So if I want to include all the 500 employees in this particular batch, I don't also need the assignment set. That is the reason that is an optional configuration. So if it, because how system is understanding or how it is linking that yes, that I should consider this particular payroll is that based on the payroll that we are assigning to this particular employee. So let's say we have 500 employees and we have only one payroll entity. So I'm going to attach all this, I mean, for all the employees, I'm going to attach this one particular payroll entity. Okay. So now system will understand that yes, this particular payroll has been attached with this employee. So I'm going to consider this particular employee for the payroll run if he is active. Okay. So similarly, it is going to pick all those employees. So this assignment set, why we are creating is that to basically segregate between one run and the other run, or probably I don't want to run for all the employees. Let's say there are a few employees where they have resigned from the company, or let's say they are in the notice period. So for these five employees, I don't want to run. So what I will do is that I will create an assignment set stating that exclude from the payroll run, and I will use this assignment set when I'm running the payroll process. So that is the idea. But apart from that, that is not a mandatory set that I want to attach when I'm running the payroll run. So there are also options that I can include or I can exclude it. If you want to just exclude five employees out of 500, so simply I can say exclude 5 and I can use this particular assignment set. Or the other option is that generating the criteria. So these are the options that we can make use of it to run for the bulk employees. Okay.
Sir, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, this, based on grade only, we used to do assignment set.
It is not mandatory. Assignment set doesn't need a grade basically. So it is just an employee record that will be assigned. So let me
Sir,
show this. Mm,
sir, for if example, consider on assignment set, I have a unique name, Boss GS.
okay.
I include 125 employees in that.
Mm.
If I give another assignment set and unique name, then we can attach it. Whether it is possible.
No, it's not about so there are requirements that we will get for based on the grade. So that I said as an example, but it's not that always we will use only grade as a parameter. So there are multiple parameters that we might use. Let's say the same case. Let's take the same case which I told. So let's say there are five employees where they have kept their resignation. So now, if I want to exclude only these 5 employees, so I will not categorize based on the grade, because there might be possibility that this particular employee will have the junior role and the other person might be an senior role. So I cannot categorize under one particular grade. So there are possibilities that it might happen based on the grade also. Okay. But the other possibility is that I can simply come to this page and I can just say, so this is only to include this 5 employees, but usually it's not only inclusion of 5 employees. So since this is test environment, so someone has created this way, but usually exclusion of this 5 employees, which means system is going to eliminate these 5 employees, and for remaining employees, it is going to process the regular payroll run. So that's the thing. Okay.
Employees we used, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, in this case, only 5 employees we used.
Yeah, correct. That's what I'm saying. Since this is an practice as the test one, so we did not create like 3-digit employees. Instead, we created only 5 and we attached with that.
So, okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah. But we don't have any limit such. So we can include or exclude anything. But it depends on. So if I have probably the big list of employees to be included and a very minimum list to be excluded, I'll not say this as an included. I'll say exclude only the 5 employees. So it is going to consider for the remaining employees.
So, okay, sir.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nothing, sir. Sir, tomorrow can we see fast formula?
We'll see. Because we have this one also I planned. Performance appraisal. We'll try to close it. We'll try to close this, and we will start fast formula tomorrow.
Okay,
We'll
sir.
see tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. So we can close the call.
Okay,
Thanks.
sir. Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night.